Hey folks, Rick here, LaLa Farm. So today we're going to do some fencing, small project, but nonetheless fencing, and I really dislike fencing. You get over that quick when you have a small farm. It's one of those tasks that just never seems to end. Most of you that followed along on the small barn build right here, heard me say a few times that, eventually what will happen at this barn is this front pasture over there will eventually be fenced in all the way up to the wooden 4-rail fence in the front, and this will become our pasture for our 2 market cows and probably for our Nigerian bucks. Unfortunately, we never got to that this year. Lots of other things kind of got prioritized before that. So what I'm going to do today, LaLa and I are going to do a small little paddock for these Nigerian bucks. We've got them up here at the front barn. We got Warrior and Jackpot up here, the 2 main breeding bucks that we have. But we've also got a couple of our babies. One of them that LaLa has purchased, which is that one, and that is Guinness. And this one is Levi. He was born here. Really a beautiful dappled goat. And fortunately, though, we want to diversify some of the genetics, so we're selling him to some good friends. And we brought in Guinness from another really reputable breeder. And we got these 2 fellas here, which you guys have met. This is Jackpot. This is Warrior. Warrior's registered. Jackpot is not. Today what we're going to do is we're going to build a small little grazing pasture on the eastern side of the small barn. So that will go out 32 feet and then go to the fence line. And then we're also going to build another fence on this side, again, that will go out 32 feet, go to the back fence. That way we'll be able to rotate them from left to right on a monthly basis through this year. And then next year we hope to have that entire pasture done. At least that's the plan. Let's get started on this. But before I do that, let me say thanks to all those folks that sent me messages, inquired. I've been a little bit under the weather for the past week. Had a little, I don't know what it was, just a transitory head cold. On the downside of that, so I'll be sniffing and coughing and all that stuff. But come through that pretty well. So thank you for all of you that follow us, that have kind of sent your good tidings and blessings along. Let's get started on this fencing.
The city life and the crazy nights. Figure out
there she is, the apple of my eye.
But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kind of miss this place I used to live back home. 'Cause up here it's breakneck.
And we'll tear this down when we start, probably around October and late September, October of this year when we start fencing this. But right now we're just going to put the T-posts in, and so we're just going to use cable ties to attach this for right now, and make sure that that's working for us. These are those discount Harbor Freight cable ties. LaLa thought she was in heaven when she found the cheap cable ties at Harbor Freight.
LaLa's a zip tie queen.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. She proudly states that, but
I zip tie everything. Everything. And it works.
So we're going to put these T-posts about every 4 foot. These are both Nigerian bucks that are going to be in here, and they're not big.
They're all very gentle.
They're not big into challenging fence, unlike the Kikos, who will destroy the fence. We've talked about this in previous videos. Why does it matter which side of the fence you put your posts on? And you'll notice that all of our fences, the posts are on the outside. And that really boils down to which side do you want the livestock to push out from. So they're going to be pushing out from this side. So if we were to put the fence on the outside of this, then essentially what they're going to be pushing on is just whatever mechanism you have holding the fence onto your stakes, in this case cable ties. By putting it on the inside, they're pushing against the post and the fence. This is why fencing in spring and summer really is horrible. See, after LaLa gave you her dissertation on her silly coveralls, she cut them off. And she didn't even do a good job cutting them off.
That's because I was wearing them when I was cutting them off.
Looks like she gave them to a 2-year-old in pre-K or a 3-year-old pre-K to operate the scissors. You know, and you're operating, follow the lines.
Okay, so here's the deal. I have short legs, and these were actually 6 inches too long. When I unrolled them all the way, they went all the way to my toes. So rolling them up was not an option because then they kept getting clumpy and unrolling.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you're just jealous because you can't sport the overall look. Is that some yummy stuff? Come on, come on. Eli. So that's about it, guys. We've got the Nigerian dwarf bucks and bucklings out here in this little temporary pasture until we get the big fencing put in later on, probably closer to fall. But this will do them some good. We're going to put a little small pasture on the other side about the same way we did this one so that I can rotate them like we need to help with parasite control and allow the weeds and stuff to grow up more, the browse to grow up more. So that's it. Always remember, be kind to one another.